Let's talk about the much anticipated set 75345, the 501st Clone Trooper Battle Pack. This set contains 4 minifigures that are based off of special rankings in the 501st Battalion, with the first one being the officer, then 2 heavy troopers, and then the third one being the specialist. Underneath the helmet, you'll see that all of the minifigures have the exact same head, and they're even the same heads from the previous 501st Battle Pack. When comparing the officer to the 501st Basic Trooper, you'll see that the helmets are almost identical except for this little hole on the side. Apparently, this has caused quite the controversy because of the positioning of the rangefinder. Some are saying that it's too high. Personally, I just don't like how flimsy it feels once you insert it into the helmet. You'll notice that the officer has a blue belt, and if you look at their helmets, you'll see that the blue lines are slightly different in angles. When comparing the specialist with the 2020 version of the 501st Clone Trooper, you'll notice that they're almost identical, except the specialist has 2 little yellow ticks on its chest, notating that it's a specialist, as well as the blue arms. Circling back to the rangefinder, people have stated that LEGO should have made 2 different molds because the placement works perfectly for the specialist, but it's a little too high for the officer. Let me know in the comments what you think. Another thing to note with the officer, I wish they would have made some kind of camo for him, but I understand the printing process being a little more cost effective. Next up, we've got the 2 heavy troopers, which I was most excited about in this battle pack. You'll notice on their helmets that they've got these blue visors that are just attachments, as well as these black stripes on them that add a little detailing to it. You'll also notice that the leg printings are the exact same as the 2020 style of the 501st Trooper. And much like the officer with the camo printing, these minifigures have the pauldron printing instead of just having additional cloth or plastic pieces. They include these little neck attachments that give them this backpack look, and this is what the minifigure looks like without the backpack on there. You'll never really see it if you have the backpack on, but it's a nice detail. And for comparison purposes, let's look at the specialist, the heavy, and the officer's backs. The officer has a blue belt as well as blue printing on the center of his back. The heavy has the strap that goes across his back, and then the specialist has the same back as the 501st from 2020. Overall, I love these minifigs, but I wish the heavy would have gotten a different blaster. And speaking of blaster, this is the mini build that you get with this set. This mini cannon blaster thingamadoo. It's got 4 legs, I assume, that have 2 points of articulation on both of them, as well as the cannon that can be tilted up and down. And if you position the legs in different ways, you can get the cannon to shoot at different angles. You can change the arch of the projectile. Physics! I like that there's this little transparent brick at the bottom that adds extra support. And I tried all these different positions to get it to fall over, but it seems to hold its own pretty well. There is the little side compartment chair area that the Clone Trooper can sit in, and of course, and because I plan on doing a full review of this, let's talk about the box. It's pretty cool box art. And be warned, if you let your toddler build this, it'll end up like this. And lastly, the instructions. Only going to touch on this real quick, but it's pretty basic. I was expecting a little more design, but my favorite part was seeing the little Clone Trooper walk across the book and progress with you as you finish the instructions. Yay! Even though this set has been criticized, I believe it is still a great addition to your collection. But let me know in the comments what you think, and how many of these do you plan on picking up? And as always, this is Mikey Brickman saying thank you for watching. Did you guys really stick it out the entire video?